Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Alexandria Ikomoni. Thanks for waking up with us on Fox 18 News at 8.
And you can see that fire crews are still on the scene investigating to figure out what happened. But I want you to focus down the road right there. You can see that there are barricades up to block drivers from coming down this road. And the Quad Cities is seeing at least 4 inches of snow. Now I want you to take a step with me so you can see just how deep this snow is right here. The race for Davenport mayor could have answers very soon. You can see behind me that they are still recounting as we speak, and that's happening by hand. We could have results sometime today. That's what the Scott County auditor is telling us.
The easiest way to describe today is freezing. It's definitely a day where you want your hat, your scarves, and your gloves to keep yourself warm, whatever else you need, because it is super cold outside. It doesn't look like much right now, but the Quad Cities is expecting multiple inches of snow within the next few hours, and now Davenport is declaring a snow emergency. So these signs are something you need to pay attention to.
Sterling Police Department looking for answers from a theft back in July. Take a look at your screen. Right now, a man and a woman are in the hospital after a car chase ends in a major crash just a few hours ago. These past couple of days, you've been able to wear the jacket in the morning, but take it off in the afternoon. But we're not getting that warm today.
I thought you were going to say you were going to keep the jacket on again.
You know, I am going to wear my jacket.
You are.
Some good news for all the cartoon lovers here. For the classics is what I'm talking about. You see it right there. Scoop.
Whew, it's overwhelming. We're mourning the loss of a home, our possessions, and a dog we love.
It's hard for Joshua Baggs to describe.
You see people on the news that their houses are burned, and your heart goes out for them, but you really don't know until you're faced with it.
And even harder for him to take in. It all happened on Sunday morning because of a heated lamp for their pets.
In a blink of an eye, I ran outside to thinking I could get a water hose and put it out, but it was already into the rafters of the porch roof.
Luckily, Joshua and Heather's 2 kids stayed with their grandparents.
They could have been playing upstairs. They still could have been in bed. And if that was the case, I know I could have gotten upstairs, but I'm not sure if I would have been able to come back down the stairs.
But one of their dogs, Gracie, didn't make it out the door.
I did everything I could, and so possessions can be replaced. We're just heartbroken about her.
By then, the entire house was up in flames.
It happened. What might have taken over the course of 15 minutes seemed like it went in 30 seconds.
And their dog Gracie is still in there.
I want to try to find her so we can have something to bury.
But they're thankful for what they have.
God was good to us.
Alexandria Ikomoni, Fox 31 News.
What you see right now hasn't always been Victory Enterprises. In fact, it used to be an elementary school. Back when this building was a school, Kelly Grubbs started Victory Enterprises with her husband Steve Grubbs in the basement of their home in 1997.
When we started that, I was actually still working part-time at the law firm that I was a partner at. But we had 3 kids at that point, and I kind of made the transition, retired from my law firm after our 4th child was born.
Grubbs says she's fortunate to have a business journey work well with her family journey.
For me, it was really figuring out a balance where I could, keep my kids as my primary focus during years that I was still working.
After years of working and years of quickly outgrowing space, they landed here. But this isn't any old elementary school. It's the school Steve went to when he was a kid.
And at that point, decided we had enough space that one of the companies, Victory Store, we could actually start doing our own production.
And production grew overnight, as big as the size of these cards.
So we just kind of kept adding on, put a couple extra buildings up here so that we could keep our production facilities connected to our sales facilities.
Through coaching, being involved with nonprofits, and more, Kelly knows the importance of giving back to her community.
If you are fortunate enough to have a successful business, you can give back to the community that helped you succeed.
Kelly encourages people, especially women, to go after their dreams, but also figure out what their priorities are.
I have always told my daughters, you can have everything, you just can't have it all at the same time.
And know that it's okay if those priorities change.
Keep your options open, and you can find a path that can really help you manage that balance.
And as she walks through these halls, Kelly can't help but reflect on a 30-year marriage with 4 wonderful kids.
I just think we've been incredibly blessed that we've been able to, succeed in the places that really mattered to us.
In Davenport,
Alexandria Ikomoni reporting.
Being Miss Iowa wasn't a lifelong dream for Michaela Hughes Shaw, and that's not something you hear someone say when they're a state title holder.
Some of the girls that I competed at Miss America with had been competing since they were like 5. But what happened is that I was actually playing my violin at an event in 2015, and they were like, hey, have you ever thought about doing a pageant?
But the choice of going to school at the University of Iowa unintentionally put her in the running for Miss Iowa.
I was like, no, I've never, ever thought about doing a pageant. I instantly thought of all the stereotypes that you think of with toddlers and tiaras and women who are just a face and they don't really do anything.
Michaela says it's so much more than that. The crown she wears stands for something greater. The 4 points on top even have its own meaning.
It stands for style, scholarship, success, and service.
And with her platform called How About Hope, she wants to help others and provide encouragement. It's for mental health and suicide awareness.
The biggest impact that I want to make on the community and the entire state is just to have honest conversations about mental health and suicide, so then that way we can break stigmas.
Mental health is personal for Michaela and has been affecting her life since she was a child.
I have a mom who suffers from anxiety, and she's also gone through postpartum depression. And when I was 17, I went through depression and I had suicidal ideation. So I had thoughts of suicide, but I never attempted.
Michaela says she was able to get help and wants to give support to people who need it.
I just try to use my story as a way to help others and to create that conversation and to make people feel like they are not alone, because they really aren't alone.
And she encourages everyone to be confident, even if you have doubts.
Just fake it till you make it. I know that's such a cliche thing to say.
She's not giving advice that she hasn't taken herself.
When I was standing on that stage, or when I had first started competing, I had no idea why I was there, and I didn't think that I deserved to be there.
She adds to always go for your dreams, even if others are waiting for you to fail.
I've had people doubt me in the past, and I've even had coaches or teachers tell me that I couldn't do something, but I would just tell them to look at me now and to know that you can overcome any struggles and that what somebody else says about you does not define you.
In Davenport, Alexandria Ikomoni reporting.